After you go to the bathroom, where exactly does it go? Flushing a toilet may be a simple task, but purifying the water afterwards is not so straightforward. Letchworth Community Access met with Jeff Drain, the chief operator of both the Water and Sewage Treatment Plants in the village of Perry, for a tour of the Wastewater Treatment Plant. Jeff has been working for the village for 12 of his 24-year career in water and wastewater treatment. Located on Water Street Road in Perry, the Wastewater Treatment Plant takes in sewage from 5 pump stations within the village of Perry and 14 pump and lift stations in the town of Castile around Silver Lake. The trickling filter plant was originally built in 1972 and is almost complete with its $13.2 million upgrade project that started in 2017. The plant typically processes 650,000 gallons of contaminated water a day, but is regulated to process 1.5 million gallons daily. During the peak flow of wet weather events, the plant can process up to 6 million gallons a day.
I think the most surprising thing people don't realize is that, the whole process of how it really works.
In simple terms, the plant operates by putting sewage through several filters and purification processes before returning clean water to Silver Lake Outlet. With each step, impurities or sludge is taken out. That sludge then goes through a different process to be compressed, and the remaining solids go to a landfill in Steuben County. Let's get into the wastewater's journey through the plant. After entering the headworks building, the first step in sewage treatment is combing out all of the large unwanted pieces like rags and grit. Although the plant is intended for sewage treatment, it is designed to process other types of water that are introduced to the water system through infiltration and inflow. An example of infiltration is groundwater entering through a leaky pipe. An example of inflow is a resident connecting their rainwater gutter to a sewage line, which brings in many small rocks, or flushing things down the toilet that they shouldn't.
So what are some things that people should never flush?
The things that are called flushables. Those fats, oils, greases, any of that kind of stuff is not good for our system. Nylon. We find all kinds of things in our bar stream. We found toys, cell phones, occasionally money, but not very much.
After the combing, the unwanted materials are then pushed through a mechanical bar screen to separate rags. The water is squeezed out of the rags and pushed through a compactor to dry. The separated grit then goes through a grit chamber. The next station is a primary clarifier. In a rotation similar to a treadmill belt, fiberglass rods cycle around the bottom and the top of the tank. Oils rise to the surface and are pushed aside while the sludge settles to the bottom and goes through its own process, which will be shown later. The wastewater continues into the primary trickling filter. Here, the water goes through distributing arms and comes out through evenly spaced holes, then trickles through several feet of honeycomb pattern media. Microorganisms live in the media and eat the organic material from the wastewater. Afterwards, the wastewater passes through a secondary trickling filter, also known as the biotower, which is filled with more media and hungry microorganisms. Next, the wastewater is off to a final clarifier where any remaining sludge settles to the bottom of the tank in a hopper. During the months of May to October, when temperatures are higher, the wastewater then goes through a UV treatment. The remainder of the year, this step is bypassed. The final product, clean water, is returned to Silver Lake Outlet. The amount of water within the creek varies and can be controlled to some degree upstream at the dam near Silver Lake Trailhead. Downstream, the creek eventually meets the Genesee River in Letchworth State Park. And now, back to the sludge. After settling to the bottom of both the primary and final clarifiers and being collected in hoppers, the sludge is drawn out of the hoppers and sent to an aerobic digester tank. Here, air is added at the bottom of the tank. The microorganisms in the sludge water use the oxygen to further break down the organic material. The sludge then goes to a belt pass to remove remaining water. Afterwards, the sludge, now known as sludge cake, is distributed into a shed and then is spread out for drying. The sludge cake is rotated multiple times until it has a dry solids percentage of at least 20%. Castile, a waste management company, picks up the dried out sludge cake and takes it to a landfill in Steuben County.
Thank you for watching. This is Jules Hopting from Letchworth Community Access.